Okay, this will be addressing twin flame issues, how natal charts reveal it all. If you've been watching my channel, which is Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444, seen and heard on YouTube, you're seeing me putting up twin flames. Some people have requested even they put up their twin flame natal chart, their soulmate natal chart, and their natal chart, so I can look at them to find out which is the twin flame, which is the soulmate. Alrighty, now this video, it was a woman that contacted me right after I went through my twin flame hell. It was a woman that contacted me from my past, maybe a year or two ago, who thought we might have a connection. So she told me to put the information in. She made the request and I did, and I said I would eventually put our natal charts up. Then later on I said because it did prove a connection, but when you're anybody can be in the soul group, and I'll get back to that. So I didn't think that natal charts would, because I knew what I had been through and the intensity and everything. So I knew. So I have been very busy, but ever since I was doing these 3 natal charts, I said, yeah, let me go ahead and do that. So I did. So you'll hear the whole investigation, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But I want to explain something about. At the end of the day, when people say we're all brothers and stuff like that, we're all brothers and sisters. That's kind of like the truth. Everything comes from source. So what happens is we come to planet Earth and we go into third dimensional BS. Denzel Washington and Robert De Niro did a great movie. Was about the Navy, and Cuban Gooding Jr. Excuse me, and Cuban's character had come into the Navy, and Robert De Niro's character was his commanding officer, and it just racism. This was way back in the old-fashioned days, when racism was more obvious than it is now. So anyway, Cuban was trying to break the ice with Robert. He was like, "Yeah, my father's a lot like you, and that he better." And Robert De Niro's character flipped out. Don't you ever compare no nigga to me, you fucking nigga, yeah, boom, boom, don't you? Yeah. He read that dude the riot act. But that's third dimensional, and it's the same way when you meet your twin. You might not be ready for it. You don't believe it, or you don't know nothing about twin flames, or the shit sounds crazy to you. So you fuck it up, or they fuck it up, or you both fuck it up, and then now you're running and chasing and really hurting each other and all this crap. And all the time the universe is teaching you about twin flame. Then you're learning more and more, but even then you're fighting, because you don't know how many people hate these people out here that are telling them about twin flame. They hate it because it's breaking their soul. It's breaking them to their very essence, and they can't take it. And all they can do is dislike every video or do crazy shit because they're all fucked up. So as time went on, these two characters got to know each other, and not only did they become best of friends, it was De Niro's character that saved Cuban's character when he needed him the most. It was De Niro that showed up and helped. And this was a straight up racist at first, but he got past his third dimensional bullshit. And that's how Twin Flames is. I gave you a recent Bible about the twins in the Bible, Jacob and Esau. That's Twin Flame. They were together for a while. Finally, they split, and they split on bad terms. And Esau said, when I see him again, I'm going to kill him. So Jacob had to leave. Had to leave his people and everything. And God kept him away for a long time. And while he kept Jacob away, he got to Esau and made Esau a very rich man, a very happy man. And now Esau didn't have a reason to kill him no more. So when he saw his brother again, now they're on good terms. So the universe will have its way, and we have to believe that and get on with what we need to do. Now, what people have to understand, that come to a person like me, I give all glory to God and the archangels for whatever gifts I have, but I do have gifts. I tell people, never underestimate yourself, know your self-worth. Because that's why the devil or negative energy has so much success on people, because they have so low self-esteem. And that's why they're running all over the internet or all over the place trying to find answers. Some of those answers are in yourself. That's why all I try to do is equip people with their natal charts, tell them if you have an angel card. ask them. Then they should take that information, go somewhere quiet, and begin to reshape their life instead of continually running. Oh no, I got more questions. Or no. Because that type of person is trying their best to avoid standing on their own 2 feet, using that term metaphorically, because some people are not able to stand, but they can still be an adult. If you're an adult, that's what you were created to be. The devil, like I said, wants to keep you in third dimensional, low self-esteem, and the more people are low self-esteem, the more they have going to have trouble with the supernatural or the supernatural manipulating them. Like I said, the one guy that's out here disliking every video, he needs to learn how to stand up like a man. That's his first step. Because in this life, he's a man, and he needs to start acting like one and stop acting like a little coward, internet coward. Because that's what that is. A weirdo internet coward. In order to come out of dark areas, you have to want to come out. That's the only way. In the Bible, John chapter 11, when Jesus resurrected Lazarus, he gave him the opportunity. He said, Lazarus, come on out. Now, Lazarus could have said, nah, that's all right. I was dead. I don't like third dimension. I think I'll just stay on in here. That's all right. Lazarus didn't say that. He said he heard his friend, because they were friends. Lazarus was one of Jesus' best friends. He heard his friend's voice, come on out, and he came out. Then they said, take the bondages off him. Same thing's going to happen to anybody with this whole tour. I feel great. Even doing this reading, I learned more about me and my situation. More. I feel great. For the first time, I had a dream where I really went up to my sister that's dead and actually tried to make peace with her. That was a fight to the death between me and her. And the only other time I reached out to her was when she got sick, supernaturally attacked. And that's when I was reading Psalm chapter 50 that warned the sister, if you continue to treat your brother this way, I'm going to get you. This is in your Bible. It's Psalm chapter 50. I didn't even know it was there, but the night I read that was the night she got supernaturally attacked. And she stayed that way till she died. That's why I tell people, don't mess with people like me. All we show is good, pure love. We're giving you something that's you can't even put a price on it, and we're giving it the lowest possible price to help as many people as we can. So I will not be disrespected, nor will the archangels that I represent. And so far, it's been 2 idiots out here that were stalking me, disliking me, and they both disappeared. Now I don't know if the angels got them or not. I really don't know, but they haven't been out here. Every now and then they might show their little cowardly heads, maybe, but not like they used to. If you feel a certain way, go somewhere else. That's all I can tell you. And you should definitely get your natal chart. If you've got some questions, ask the questions. It's not going to cost you a whole heck of a lot. Stop being cheapo. Stop staying in third dimension. Once you get that, go somewhere quiet and go over it. That's why I do it like you're in a class. I take each house step by step, explain it step by step. For people that were smart enough to ask questions, whatever on your mind, you're getting it out. You're getting the angel's perspective. But that's the stepping stone to this the whole twin flame thing is a journey. It's not just about where your twin is. In fact, that's the least of it. It's about waking you up to why you're really here and waking you up to your connection to God and the universe, how the universe really works. Outside of this matrix is based on fake religions, stealing the holy books and flipping them on you, and all kind of crazy global one world and all this worship the devil type stuff. That's this world we're in. Third dimensional tells you to come out of that world. Come out of her, my people. Come out of Babylon the Great. Now, you're about to hear the audio I did. Well, I did put the 2 charts up, but here's the situation. Now, you have to listen very carefully. Not putting anybody down. It's not the purpose to come out here and put anybody down, but I have to make my points. Now, this person who requested that I do this, she said herself that she writes things down and they become a reality. And that's a fact. Archangel Gabriel tells you that. The archangels tell you that. You could think something and it manifests. You could write things down and it manifests. So it's in my best interest that she doesn't see my chart. Why? Because even if she wouldn't do it, subconsciously, she may do it. So she'll hear the audio, but she won't see the chart. Because I don't need to put anything concerning me in her mind. Because of the simple fact, I don't know how deep this goes. You want to say, I understand third dimensional, higher self and stuff like that, so I'm not afraid of it. but I'm not confused by it either, whereas some people may be. And you have some people, not saying she would, but I've been stalked many times. So you have some people that don't accept the reading, even though the reading is true. They may continue to press what they think. But what I would encourage her or anybody else, once you are given proof that you're not twin flames, you could be using that energy to find your real soulmate or your real twin flame, your real twin soul. So it takes a little maturity, a little self-discipline. But some people don't have it. And that's why when you see somebody stalking somebody, now these people, some of these people have stalked me for, like the female, she stalked me for a good year and a half. It probably longer. Probably longer. Yeah, because I went through my whole twin flame thing for two and a half years. She was there the whole time. Oh yeah, you're talking about 3 years this chick stalking me. And she like 50-something years old. I can see, like, little kids don't even do junk like that. This is a grown-ass 50-year-old woman still stalking somebody on the internet. Crazy. And then she started, then some other guy started stalking me because I did an angel card reading for his twin, and the angel card brought out that he had stuff to work on. Instead of him being a man and work on it, he decided to act like a little kid and stalk me for like over a year and a half. Like literally hitting the dislike button 10 times for the same video. Like, how crazy can you be? And between New Year's, between Christmas and New Year's, it seemed like that's all he did. Like, most people out celebrating. This dude was online disliking every video 2, 3, 4 times and stuff. So these people are crazy, demonized, obsessed. And funny, because the other one, the woman that stalked me, she actually tried to contact me talking about, oh, could you do my natal chart? After she done disliked that. And I used to have a different channel. And I destroyed the channel. All my music, everything. I hated that female. Not hated her so much as a person, but just hated the stalking so much just to get away from her. I just liked everything. Then she found me here. But again, the badness, because if I hadn't come here, I wouldn't have got her now and everything's beautiful. So she actually helped. Like, I took that lemon and turned it into lemonade. Or God took it and turned it into lemonade. I want to thank the Archangel. So the point I'm trying to make is people be obsessed. So you don't need people that think anything, to see anything, because it's just going in their consciousness. But those people need to learn. We could be friends. Like me and this person, we've never, as far as I know, we've never had no real issues. It's like in 2014 or 2015, whenever it was, we met real quick. It was real quick, and it was just over. And then it was like almost, it was similar, but she's not like no stalker. She's not nuts. She's not a nut job like this other female that was stalking me. This one, but she showed up on me at the same time, because the other one showed up when I had did a video. I said I'm through with the whole twin flame thing. I ain't gonna talk about it no more. And then that's when the other one started talking to me. But she had been listening the whole time, so I guess she thought she was gonna move in at that place. She was gonna move in. I'm talking about the other one that was stalking me. But this one came too. It was like at the very, very end of my whole twin flame thing. And this one came and said, I think, we might have a connection and, do the reading. And there were some connections that I'm going to speak on. Because I'm going to let you hear the whole investigation I did. I took her chart, put it up on the left. I put my chart on the right. And then I went over them. And I learned more about my situation doing that. And you will hear that audio is coming up in this video. And, so what I'm trying to say is, you have to know. Oh, so the point I'm trying to make is a soul. Everybody could be a soul group. Everybody could be a soulmate. The only reason why we don't connect with people because we look at them. Like a female look at a guy, immediately. Oh, he seems boring, or whatever. Or he seems like a nerd, or he seems like a mama's boy, or whatever. And she's deciding all of this before she ever talked to him. So that's a done deal. And that's why a lot of females with me don't like me at first. Till they hear me start talking, see my personality, and then they start liking me. I know a female that ignored me repeatedly. I used to work downstairs, and what she didn't know was I had a reputation downstairs. I was respected, because, like, make a long story short, I had worked there twice. I came back the second time, so the boss felt like, you came, we fired you the first time, now you're coming back again. So he would bust chops every day. But for business, I would never say nothing back. But then they started fucking with the money. Don't nobody play with my money. As number one rule, we do not play with money. Money mean death. That's how I was raised. I was raised by gangsters. We don't play with money. We understand straight up what it is, and then we stick to what it was. No flipping, no changing, no nada. We don't play with money. This is business. So my money started acting up. So I tried to professionally find out what was going on with the money. And everywhere I went in his company, I got another lie, another lie, another lie. So one day I'm working, and that little inner voice said, man, why are you still working for him? Go get your money. I got up and tried to talk to him. He threw me out of his office. I came and sat back down. Something said, man, I know you're not going to sit back down and not get your money. This man owes you money. I went and tried to talk to him again. He threw me out of his office again. I went to sit down, and that little voice was still saying, man, you better not take another phone call. And the manager on the floor said, what's wrong? What's going on? So I tried to tell the manager what was going on, and my boss, he sat in his glass office, so he saw everything. He saw me talking to that manager. That crazy dude came out and said, what part of get back to work don't you understand? I flipped that. I said, what part of you owe me money don't you understand? I said, I'm not rich like you. I said, I got bills to pay. I got to eat. I said, you're driving around a Mercedes Benz. I'm broke. I need my money. I flipped the fuck out on that dude. That dude said, calm down, calm down. He called. He never did this before. This dude called and got the books. He brought the books down and let me see the books. That's the number one rule. Nobody sees the freaking books. That's the number one rule with people in business. He actually let me see the books. And from then on, my reputation in that whole building was like, do not fuck with that dude. And then I would be at the bar. This is a long time ago. I'd be at the bar, and his people would be in the bar, and they would just start buying me drinks. Like, yo, it ain't us. It ain't us. We ain't fucking with your money. It ain't us. So that's the number one golden rule. You don't fuck with the cash. Second off, so I got moved upstairs because, again, my sales was low. But the reason why my sales was low because it was this company that was selling a product that they knew didn't work. But I couldn't find no job. This is a long time ago. I couldn't find no job nowhere. So I was just working until I could find something. And so I didn't push the sales. You know what I'm saying? Plus he would cheat you out of your commissions. Like, you would get commissions on sales and he'd keep the money, or his people, whoever was doing it. But there was a lot of dirty stuff going on there. So I talked to one of my people, and they was like, why would you keep getting commissions for him if he's not gonna give you your cut? Just do the hourly wage. So that's what I started doing. Said, just do hourly wage. So he was gonna fire me, but he had respect for me because I got in his ass, and he moved me upstairs. So then that's where I started my whole career as a collector. Started with him, and then I went on to be a real good collector and shit. And I work with a whole lot of people. In fact, I got like awards as being like the best debt collector and shit. And so then I got moved upstairs, but he told me you can't wear street clothes upstairs. You gotta wear some type of formal, some type of tie. I said, okay, no problem. So I started wearing a suit and tie. So I would see this female that was from the hood, but she worked upstairs too. So she would see me, and I'm trying to be mature because I could have just, it came a point where I wanted to grow up. Like after 2001, whatever. I just wanted to grow up. Or this was like 2004 or 5. So I didn't care no more. I was just going to be me. You could believe what you want. I came out with gangsters. I don't care what you think. So if you think I'm soft or weak, you'll find out if you cross that line. So she thought I was a nerd coming up there with glasses. I got on a suit and tie looking like Steve Urkel and shit. So I would say hello to her, and she would ignore me. It was this black female. So I would say, well, should I keep saying hello? Because she's ignoring me every time. And some said, you know what? Be the bigger man. Doesn't matter what she says. Just be the bigger man. So I would keep saying hello. She keep bigging me. So then at the Christmas party, everybody was there and she was there, and all the people was with me. You understand? Because my rep is strong. All the people was with me. So when she seen that, from then on, she turned into a groupie. So every time I seen her, she was like saying hello, and trying to get my attention and shit. But that's a female. That's how things work. Same thing was another female when I worked downstairs. This female, long story short. But I used to make her sit by me because I was like really out there. I was in them streets. You could go in an alleyway and you could see me in the alleyway and shit. Like I was in them streets. So it was this one female. I knew she was a fast money maker. So I would make her sit next to me like every day. I'd be like, yo, you don't sit over there. Come here. You sitting right here. And I would make her sit next to me like every day. So she ain't like me. So she thought I was soft too. So she stopped talking to me. So then she came through the bar one night, and I was in there. I always had the top seat. And this is a gangster bar. I always had a top seat, and I'm sitting there. Chilling. And she's behind me trying to get the waitress to notice her. And the waitress won't notice her. And I'm just sitting there chilling. And she's sitting behind me. She won't speak to me. I won't speak to her. So she waited for a good 25 minutes. And the waitress wouldn't buy nothing. Soon as I put my glass in my right hand and lifted my hand up. That waitress came immediately. You want a refill? You want a refill? I said, nah, you could hit them off. They've been waiting. And then they got their drinks and shit. And then from then on, that chick was on my job for like unbelievably on my job. So niggas can say what they want. I know who I am. I know what I do. I don't give a flying fuck about nobody telling me what, this, and that. Like I said, I got a feeling they gonna try to jam me on some other shit, lying as usual. So you got to be a hardback. You can't be soft. You're on a planet that's evil for the most part. There's good things on planet Earth, but this is an evil ass planet. Just read your newspaper. Look how many people been killed for being black. Let's just keep it real. I mean, other people get killed too. That's right. But let's just be honest. As long as you ain't a dark-skinned person, you got a good chance of making it to the corner store and getting back home safe if you ain't black. But if you're black, you might get a fucking bullet in your head. And then they killed one dude that was an Indian. And when they found out that he wasn't black, they fired those officers immediately. But if he was a black guy, I bet they still be working. So that's a fact. You see it in the news every day. So you can go ahead and do whatever you're going to dislike, whatever. I'm speaking facts. So you got to learn how to live on this life. First, you got to put your trust in God. That's what all this is about, but people don't get it. They just think it's about twin flame, twin soul. No, twin flame, twin soul is a wake-up call. That there's a whole world around you, and then the universe is trying to show you how it really works, and how your only hope is to trust in these archangels, how your only hope is to trust in God. But most people would never wake up to that fact until they get hit in the heart, just like he did Pharaoh. He had to hit Pharaoh in the heart before Pharaoh was able to open up and listen. So that's what twin soul, twin flame is really all about. That's why some people, even though they get all this knowledge, they still not with their twin, or it might take longer. And then there's a lot of people talking about they twin flames and ain't twin flame. If they all happy and all great love, that's probably not twin flame. That might be soulmate. That's why I challenge those people. Put up them natal charts. See, this woman, she put up her natal chart. There's a lot, though. Those people put up 2 and 3 natal charts because they're not afraid to know the truth. This ain't about being afraid. It's about knowing the truth, knowing how to lead your life, which way you're going to go now. And I put my life on the line over 3 years ago out here. I've been 100% transparent for people that can deal with it. And I had to accept it because I thought I was going to help everybody. But everybody don't want help because they just want to know where their twin is at. When will I be with my twin? That's the only thing they care about. These are the same people that when I was doing prophecy, the only time they would pay attention to the video was when I said, oh, prophecy, New York or blood moon. Now they're wide awake. Wide awake because why? They're selfish people. They could give a fuck less about everybody else on the planet except where is their twin flame, or I live in New York, now I'm scared. But what about all these other videos? What about my Bible study videos? What about my channel where we spend studying the Bible? Nobody will come to those channels because they don't give a flying fuck. But that's where the power will always be. I am who I am. If I was to die today, I leave a wonderful legacy on this planet. Because my stronghold has always been the word of God, and my stronghold has always been God, and I've always been blessed because of it. Even when I was going through all the hell I went through, God was always with me, which is why I'm still sitting here where most of my opponents are no longer alive. So now that we made that perfectly clear, we can get on with the reading that I did. Now, my advice, and I give everybody advice. Like I said, me and this woman, we've had friends. Like we've had no bad stuff. When we met, I was just running. What they may not know, I've been running since I was a little kid because I knew I had a purpose. I knew I had a mission, and that's all I was interested in. I was running, and not getting caught up because I saw how many times they try to use dysfunctional family to catch me up, racism to catch me up, stalking females to catch me up, anything to catch me up. That's why I'm very careful who I allow around me. I even had people online that I thought was cool, but then they were revealed to be snakes for the most part, the unappreciative snakes. But God took them out. I ain't really had nothing to do with that. So what this person has to realize is something you have to accept within yourself. That's why I say you got to have your own self-esteem. Once it's proven that it's not that way, then there is a possibility that there's somebody else. And I don't know your life personally, so I wouldn't know. You know your life better than me. So that would be refocused. And it's always going. I'm this way with everybody, but it's always about respect. Each person got to stay in their lane, which she's been doing, which I appreciate that. Especially like I would never try to impose on a female that has been repeatedly stalked, because she's already fucked up. It's like, damn, I can't even meet a good guy because every guy I meet just starts stalking me, and it's been that way. I mean, we're talking over 30 years of just being stalked. It's like way more energy on stalking than on, hey, well, let's just have a relationship. Let's get to know each other. No, they just rather drive you fucking crazy with stalking you and shit. And my twin flame was like the queen of stalking. And then she's gonna lie, and I'm gonna take the blame, and she's the one stalking me. So that's why the chart stays down, because I don't want anybody's consciousness, anybody's whatever. Not for this reading. So you'll learn a lot. We do have a connection, and you see it in the charts. But that connection is through Neptune as well as my moon sign Capricorn, and you can see it in the charts. Now, who knows what that stuff means? You don't understand. Maybe we lived on planet Neptune at one time. We don't know all this stuff. Maybe we did have a relation. Maybe we brother and sister from a different dimension, a different world. I don't know. But the twin flame stuff went down exactly with who I said it was. And what y'all don't understand is she's not the first. That energy used to be on a different person named Tammy. My twin flame's name is Tammy from when I was a little kid. And I had all kind of experience. One time in my neighborhood, it gets real weird. All I can tell you is this. When John F. Kennedy got killed that day, it was a police officer in Dallas that got killed. Nowhere near where John F. Kennedy got killed. And this dude looked exactly like John F. Kennedy. When Tupac allegedly got killed, the dude that they were saying killed him, Orlando or whatever, he looks just like Tupac. So we don't know all these secrets and mysteries, and we don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to tell you, all this stuff is planned. We're in a freaking matrix. It's like somebody walking in a hologram. This is like a freaking matrix. And that's why you got all these weird-ass synchronicities that don't seem to make sense. But somebody knows. The people that run this stuff know. So when I was a little kid, I was sleeping one day, and there was in my neighborhood, because all these people, Tammy was German American, and then I had like other German Americans that lived in our neighborhood, and I don't know if they were necessarily related, but they were close. And then we had other people in our neighborhood that have the same name, is associated with the planet Sirius, they call it the blue star. Well, I have people in my neighborhood till this day, and they were related. They were related to give me a second. They were related to some German Americans, some German mixed black Americans. These are like Germans, but they got black in them. German mixed black Americans. And you got to understand, even Quincy Jones, who's another down with the whole Egyptology stuff, he's married to basically a German. And then you got Hitler that was connected to Egypt. So all this is shit we don't understand. So you had that family. They had almost the same name as Sirius. And they had a dog named Scrap, but he was Ampu. Because Ampu, they call Ampu Scrappy. Ampu is the god of the underground. And one day, this is like 20 or something years later, I'm hanging out with these dudes that I grew up with. The German dude, the German black dude. And he says to me, haha. We were just sitting there, and he comes out of the blue. He goes, aha, and Scrap will bite their ass. And I busted out laughing. I said, this nigga talking about Scrap, because little Scrappy used to bite the shit out of you and shit. Because there was a family of there was no females, just 7 brothers, and they was mean. They bully you, they beat you up. If they found a lost dog, they turned that dog into a terror, and they would sick the dog on you and shit. So you got all these people. So you got these people with the same name as Sirius connected to these German black, these like they're light skinned, but they got black, and but they're German too. They're German, white, and black. They all mixed. So you got them. And then you got this woman who was murdered. And the person that murdered her's name is Marco Bay. That's a Moor name. And Hitler was from Morocco. He was Moroccan. He had a base during World War II in Morocco when they made that movie Casablanca about Hitler's army in Africa, in North Africa. So the dude that murdered her, the woman, his name was Marco Bay. But That woman looked exactly like my twin, only if she was older. Looked exact, and they all these people knew each other, and they would like kind of hang out together. So this is all soul group stuff. So that's why you have to understand all this before you think, oh, I'm in love. No, it could just be a synchronicity. It's not that serious. It's only they're playing with you. Like people know you don't have the knowledge, so they're playing with you. And they're making you think, oh, this is my soulmate. And you can make him understand it. You can make him see. That's why you get a female stalking you. Because she honestly believes at some point you're going to wake up. But look, I got the charts, nigga. So you can't fool me. It's not there. That's just the way it is. If it was there, I would say it was there. I'd probably be happy it was there, but it's not there. Soul connection, definitely. But I'm trying to tell you how soul connections work. But twin flame is something totally different. So anyway, so one time I'm sleeping in my room and I happen to wake up and it's a woman in my room. Like a ghostly woman figure. But it looks just like Tammy, but only older. But it looked exactly like that woman that got murdered by Marco Bay. Because she lived right up the street. Right now, people from India live in her house and been living there for a while. And all kind of supernatural stuff be happening with their house. With the lights and shit. Like, they be having lights that go off and on. Because one time, like, they had went away. But they had left a light on. And that light would come on and go off by itself. And none of these sensors. This is long before some sensor lights. So don't say it was no damn sensor. That light would come and go up by itself. So one day, I just looked at that light. I said, come on. And it came on when I came on. And then another time, their front porch light did it. It became so bright that I literally called the police. I said, listen, this light is too bright. I said, somebody better get over here because it looked like something about to blow. And that cop came. And he rolled right past it because I was looking out the window. The cop came and he rolled right past it. It didn't come on. And then he rolled down the street and came back. And then the second time when he came up, the light came on, but not as bright as it was. But it did come on, so that way they knew I wasn't lying. Then he got out the car and they looked at it. I don't know what the fuck they did. But that light came on so bright, like you would have thought it would blow up. And I've had all kind of strange shit. Like one night I went out there, which was weird because they usually go to bed early. One night I went out there, it was like 1:11 a.m. Some crazy shit. And some crazy shit was happening outside. I forget what it was. It might have been the same night I was hearing gunshots and shit. I don't really remember. But I went out there, and then they was some of them people from, I just say India. They was out there on the corner just standing there and shit. I said, that's some weird shit. And then right across the street from them is like some people that moved in. They real loud people. Cops always be over there. But I'm trying to tell y'all, wherever I see these portals and shit, always cops show up. All the time. Crazy shit. I see a whole lot of crazy shit. Like one time I looked at my window like 2 a.m. and fire was on the street. But this was in the wintertime. Fire was on the street. I like, how can that be fire when it's snow all around? And that fire was rolling around like somebody was caught on fire and they was trying to roll around and get the fire out. And it disappeared. I said, oh shit. And I was still looking. And then it came back again. It came back and started doing it again and started touring and then just disappeared. That shit bugged me the fuck out. Another time, this is right before this house burnt down on January 1st. I think it was January 1st, 2012 or something. I don't remember when. January 1st, 2011, January 2012. I don't remember. This whole house burned down. But right there, months before the house burned down, we had a lot of snow. So I parked my car across the street in front of my neighbor's house. And they came out. They were standing there. They said, come here, I want to show you something. I said, what? She took me in her yard. This is what she showed me. There were footprints way back in her yard between her house and this house that would eventually burn down. And I said to myself, well, who the hell will be walking back here in the snow? Ain't no kid. It's nothing back here. Who the hell? And I noticed, but she didn't notice. But I noticed that there were no entrance paths. Just these footsteps. And I just seen that in my yard. The last snowstorm we had. Some type of animal path, but there's no really way he could have did that. Following. But I do know we got a beaver that be hiding underneath. I guess he been living there for years. He live underneath our deck. So maybe it was him coming out. Because you really don't see like no really interest. But it just looked like he came out and then just walked. So maybe that one can be explained a little bit. But it's still weird to me. But this one can't be explained. And these were human feet. Or they looked human. And she's just pissed off that people are in her yard. But she doesn't realize there ain't no track in here. This person just appeared, started walking, and was gone. This is all in the snow. And they don't know, you can't make no excuses. It wasn't no rain. Oh, the rain must have took the rest of the... No, it wasn't pure snow. This person appeared, was walking around there, and just disappeared. And that house burnt down, like shortly after that. Another time on her other side of her house. I'm in my kitchen chilling. I see like what looks like mist, like clouds, like a mist though, a mist, not a deep cloud, but mist but it still looked like a cloud, vapors, whatever you want to call it, smoke, but vapor cloud like smoke, and it's a light in the middle like a portal. I said, oh shit, what's that? So I run to the other side of the house to get a better view, and it ain't there. It ain't there. I run back to the other side of the house, and it's there. So all this shit go, but I see this shit all the time. And that's the same place where them, I seen the Crips over there one night, and that's the same place wherever the gangsters, whatever thugs is in our neighborhood would hang out at that spot, and they would hit a gun in her bush in that area, and they used to do like put drugs in the area. So another person would probably pay this person for drugs, he sticks it in the bush, and then the other person would walk by the bush and stick his hand in the bush and get the drugs. But that's only one portal. The other portal, same thing. The other portal, this is where the black and white cat came out of nowhere. And I said I knew that was my sister because of what was going on. Another time my sister came back to life as a white pit bull. And I study all this shit, so I know what it is. I always do everything. So I know. Like that dog that came was and the same dude that told me, I told you all about Nibiru. And that same dude just had said, hey Mr. Gary, and his name is Justin. And I broke that down. If y'all didn't see it, y'all need to get that video because I just did it about the Moor. Oh yeah, both of those videos are on private or unlisted. Anyway, so that's the whole JU Justice Jupiter type Nibiru stuff. So right in that same area is another portal, and that's where that little cat ran into. Like that cat that came, that's a portal, and I knew that was a portal because all kind of weird stuff be happening in that little area. And they stopped the postman. These were like, this was some weird shit. This was a dude doing a route on a post office. And as he got to that portal area, then check out post office, portal and shit. They stopped him right in front of that fucking, where that portal is. And they investigated him. Like one of these guys had a badge on. I ain't never seen no shit like this before. They had a badge on and they stopped him and they searched his truck and shit. With some weird shit. And then to show you this is some serious shit, he told him he had to go back to deliver something. But I watched him. There was no reason for him to go back, but I think he did that because whatever he had, see, they didn't check him, they checked his truck. So he acted like he had some mail to deliver, and I think he dropped whatever he had. I think he had something, but they knew something was on that truck or something. So he walked back, but the name of the house he went back to was Birds. And see, in the Bible, they talk about black ravens, and those are really extraterrestrials or angels. Whenever the Bible talks about ravens and all that, ravens going to and fro and all that shit, they talking about black angels. And I got all this around me my whole life because that's how they keep it in your consciousness of who you really are, where you really come from. And Christians don't know no better. So if Christians don't understand it, first thing they're going to say is that that's the devil, that's demonism, stay away from it. But they don't know that you was taught that by these Romans that overthrew your ass. That's why you don't know nothing about astrology and all that, because they don't want you to know who you really are. Of course they're going to tell you it's evil and it's the devil. But now people are waking up regardless. And people ain't going for that bullshit no more. That spell is wearing off of people. So I'm just showing you all these different portals in the neighborhood. Another time, like I said, be having strange shit with clouds over the house. One time it was this big ass cloud over my house. I said, oh, that shit. I said, that's Shekinah. I was just looking at it. And I had to go to the post office. The post office is only like 3 minutes up the street, if that long. So I went to the post office, came back, and that big ass cloud was gone and wasn't nowhere in the sky. I was like, where did that cloud go that fast? That was some weird shit. In the same area one time I looked up in that cloud and it was a light. Like the same thing I saw on the street was in the cloud, like a light in the cloud and shit. Was bugging out. And then one time I looked, it was a UFO over that same lady's house where that man's house burned down. It was a UFO. It was just sitting there. It's like when somebody's looking at you through a window. And it looked like they was looking at me and I'm just sitting there looking at them and shit. And then they cut the light off and then the shit just took off. Not real fast, but it took off relatively fast and shit. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is a whole lot of shit going on. So don't let this whole twin flame thing. They're just trying to help you see it's a bigger world. And I'm trying to help as much as I can, but I'm tired, bro. Because you get a lot of people that don't appreciate it. I don't like being accused of being a liar. And crazy ass people out here. Not everybody, but just crazy stalkers or groupies or whatever. And you put all this work in to help these people, and they won't even go sit down for a second and learn it. I mean, I did all the work. All you have to do is think, but you don't want to think, which is why you're in the situation you're in. I just had a situation with somebody like that yesterday. They'd rather get mad and just leave than all you got to do is get a better location. This system is not taking your location. I've already tried 3 different locations. I can't sit here all day. There's people waiting. Then they just get frustrated or whatever and try to run. Oh, no, forget it. Blah, blah, blah. Do this. No, I'm not going to do that. You got 2 choices. That ain't one of them. Well, fuck it then. Yeah. All right. So now you're about to hear this chart for those of you that made it thus far. And but yeah, so our connection, I forget exactly what it is, but it is a connection, but it's more like a soul group connection. It's not all that other shit. Like we, maybe somewhere else we was brothers and sisters or whatever. But you gotta understand if that's the case, that can never be. See, you gotta deal with where you are now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, that's not that big. Like my twin. Do y'all really see? I don't be crying about my twin. Like I tell y'all about my twin. I used to cry about my twin because I didn't understand it. Now I understand it. I'm cool. I mean, because like I said, she wanted the marriage. She wanted the children. I didn't want none of that. I mean, maybe with the right person, but we going to get to know each other first. I done tried that shit too many times, man. This shit don't work. People are selfish. And me, I'm a Leo. Leos are very giving people. And I'm an archangel. Like, I'm an angel, for real. I'm like really a fucking angel. If you don't believe it, you see all the stuff I do out here, you have to be crazy not to believe it. Some of y'all ain't see me do the space charts because I put all that on private because I like to move on. But some people out here say, yeah, he's not lying. We've seen him do it. This guy be talking to planets, stars. The same thing Joseph did. Any archangel or any angel can do that. Joseph was in it. Just go listen. Joseph. What did Joseph do? He had dreams where he was talking to the moon, the stars, and the sun. Okay, that's Joseph. What did Joshua do? Another J-O. J-O. He told the sun and moon to stand still, and they did. Okay. Then there's another Job. The book of Job is all about constellations and stars and all that shit. Why? Because these are angels that came down to earth. And that's why God is so hard on them. Almost everybody I'm naming been through some type of false accusations, imprisonment, and shit like that. Because they're not regular humans. They're archangels who came down to help. That's the book of Enoch. That's why they don't want the book of Enoch in your Bible. There's a whole lot of books that should be in your Bible that they took out because then you will wake up and know that I'm like guys like me are telling you the truth. So that's why I said so you have to be very careful because you'll waste time focusing on something that ain't going to happen when you should be focusing on something that will happen. So that's my purpose of trying to help people. So we definitely do got a connection. Rather it's a family connection from some certain place, I don't know. But I know it has something to do with Neptune, has something to do with Capricorn. And when my moon sign is Capricorn, so maybe the moon and whatever else. I don't remember everything else I said, but you will hear it in this audio that you're about to hear. But as far as my twin soul situation, so what I'm trying to tell you also, so anyway, the energy, Tammy don't live nowhere around here no more. But they used to keep me and Tammy together. They used to put me and Tammy together, but I didn't know what no twin flame was. This was like the early 90s, like 91, 92. But Tammy's married and she don't live nowhere around here. So that energy, I'm just gonna call it soul energy, but it could be something else maybe. But that energy that was on Tammy left to get close to me, and they came upon this other person, this really new twin flame. And I know you guys don't understand it, but I live it. And the difference between me and y'all, I proved my shit. So you don't have to believe me, but I proved my shit. I'm not walking around wondering shit. I proved my shit like a scientist. So that energy left and now was on this person. So now, but you saw that on the chart. I had a soulmate. Again, I'm only saying they're a soulmate, but we never kissed or hugged. But at my job, there were 2 people. Just like you're seeing these people put up three natal charts. One is going to be your soulmate. One's going to be your twin. So at my job, that's where it was. One was my twin. One was my soul. And you could see how medium Coeli should be in the 10th house. My medium Coeli is in my 9th house. Why? Because my 10th house is spiritual. Because I pushed the female side out of the 10th. I pushed medium Coeli out into the 9th house. Because I was more interested in my career. My career is doing what I do. Spirituality. So you can see that it starts with like the 7th and 8th house. Where it starts with Miss P. She was a Capricorn, which is also my moon sign is Capricorn. And then it goes into the 9th house where medium Coeli is. I think Aquarius is in my 9th house. So that's that whole twin flame submission thing. But it's in the 9th house, not the 11th. Aquarius should be in the 11th house. But Aries is in the 11th house. So you still see that aggression of Aries, which is really my twin. She's the aggressive one. In the 11th house, but you also see Jupiter. Why? Because of that whole twin flame situation. The 11th house is about family. No, the 11th house is about friends and associations and groups. And Aquarius is about teaching the community. And that's all I do out here. And you see Jupiter there, the JU, which is still a marriage. But it's giving me, because of the numerology, it's giving me the possibility that she and I may reunite, which is supposed to happen if it's really a twin flame relationship. So even though that Aries energy is still there, it's still in the 11th house, but it's there with Jupiter. So in the 11th house is Aquarius, it's the submission. So that might be somebody's way telling me she will eventually submit. And I'm already getting readings. And I was there. I did see times when she would submit, but she would always go back, flip out again, because she's a little weird. So, but all of it's true is what I'm trying to tell you. All of it's true. And plus the numerology, basically. And Jupiter means marriage, is JU. That's Nibiru, Jupiter, marriage. Anything with the JU, Justin, Justice. That's either the number 24. I think it's the number 24. It's number JU, or no, let's get rid of it. Don't say number 24. I'm not sure. I think it is, but we'll save it until I can prove it. But 19 is definitely the two different polarities coming together. So all that's in my 11th house of submission. Because you have to understand twin flames. They'll say they don't want you. They'll tell people they don't like you. Blah 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 blah. But somehow they'll still end up being with you. And it's even if it wasn't you, if you knew how many females told me they would never get with me and tell me why and everything, and then that female come and get with me, even though she just got finished disrespecting me, embarrassing me, telling everybody she'd never get with me, and then she still come get with me. So if that happens with people in general, you know it's gonna happen with twin flame, because twin flame, that's the real deal. So the main thing is, as I end this and get on with the audio, the main thing is now you know, so you can refocus that aspect. And I got nothing about being friends or whatever, but you gotta understand, because a lot of people say that they still don't get it. So sometimes you just can't be friends because some people can't deal with it. Or sometimes you say let's be friends, but then you be the one saying, hey, let's be more than friends. Shit happen. We're weird. We humans are weird. And I'm still a human because I'm in a human body, despite where I might have really come from. So that's it. But the good news is we have the information. And again, like I said, a person knows to look forward. And I'm trying to help people how to think. But see, a lot of times, no disrespect, but y'all got to be careful, because you're going to have spirits tell you anything. And most of y'all, as long as somebody loving you, you really could care less. Like if you're in love with somebody, you could care less if it's your twin flame, your soulmate. There's a few of y'all that have been very brave. I honor all the brave people, because I've had people say, well, who should I be with, my twin or my soulmate? I've had people say, well, I have a better relationship with my soul, but should I do what the universe says? So let me tell you the final thing. This is really quick. You have to understand what solar ascension is and how the Holy Bible is telling you the truth about solar ascension. See, if you stay in this world is ruled by Satan, also known as Saturn. This is his world. So all this soul stuff and all that, that's his world. But when you accept that Savior, that's solar ascension. So if you accept that Savior and you walk in the Spirit, you're going to solar ascend no matter what, because he breaks that covenant that Satan forced you into. That Savior can break that covenant, pay your debt, and take you out. So that's why I'm really looking for the Savior. I'm not looking for no twin flame, twin soul, and all that. And you can even see me pushing her out the 10th house on my chart. Because the 10th house is where I met her. That's the house of career. I met her at my job. And it was Satan or Damien. My boss's name is Damien. That's the devil's name. And the omen and devil is called Damien. It was Damien that put me and her together. And now that night, all hell broke loose. That's when the flames of the twin really burnt to hell that night. So I already have solar ascension because I had a son. And if I'm walking in the Spirit, I'm already going to ascend. That's why I don't get too caught up on this earthly shit. Because really, let's be honest, people. Let's stop lying. You're going to be having sex with somebody, right? So that's fornication. So you're already not going to, that kicks you out of the kingdom. Galatians chapter 5 says any type of fornication, adultery, men lying with men, women lying with women. This is all Bible stuff. Now, you can choose to believe it or not believe it, but I'm trying to tell you from a person that actually studied and proves what he says that it's real. It's not a joke. Just because the powers that be may tell you a bunch of crap. And you saw what happened to them. They all got booted out, and now they got a guy talking about God and Jesus, and now they talking about Jesus at the White House and all that. I ain't heard Jesus at the White House in a long time. Now Jesus seems to be back in control, and all these people are pissed off because they thought they were about to take over the world, and God smacked all of them in the freaking face. And he should have, because they were a bunch of bullies. They were trying to force their lifestyle on people, just like they did in Sodom and Gomorrah. They tried to make people gay. Personally, I don't want to be gay. Okay, I'm not saying nothing's wrong. If that's your life, you have every right to make whatever decisions you do with your body and your life. But how dare you? How dare you try to bring that my way? Any bully, from my father on down, if you're a bully, I hate you. And I'm glad that you had to eat a little bit of humble pie. You had to eat a little bit of humble pie. Because you guys were getting very obnoxious with your beliefs and trying to push that on everybody. Everybody doesn't want it. It was like Sodom and Gomorrah all over. And then you got smacked down by that angel. That angel smacked that ass just like they did in Genesis chapter 19. Stay humble. Stay humble. So that's what's up. It's been a pleasure. Now, for those who want to hear it, what you're about to hear is the audio of the two charts. My friend's chart, who requested I do the reading. They didn't necessarily request this. This was my idea, but they did request earlier that I do a reading that I did. But her chart is on the left. My chart is on the right. You're going to see me go through my chart, explain everything, then go through her chart. And then you'll see what you're going to find out. For those of you that want to listen, we could definitely connect. We definitely got a connection. That's why I said if both of us can stay in our lanes, it could be some type of whatever, friendship or whatever the case going to be. But it's not it might have been in a different world. I don't know. It might have been in a different world. I don't know. But in this world, you can see who the twin is. Because everything that my chart says, we already been through. The only part that hasn't happened yet is her showing up. Because Aries eventually is supposed to show up in the 11th house, which is Aquarius. And it's funny because this person that requested this is Aquarius. And she came at a time when Michael the Archangel and Gabriel were telling me that my twin has humbled herself. But I don't know, because I heard another person say it took them 20 years before. Because I think the way me and my twin are, I think when we see each other again, I think it would probably be decades from now. And we probably would just walk up to each other and just start talking like we never did each other dirty and shit. Because both of us know who we are. She knows, and I know. But she just had to be an a-hole for different reasons. But she's got a guy, she's got kids, blah, blah, blah. So it's one of them things. Plus, I didn't really want that shit. Because if I wanted it, I could have had it way before that. Way before she had that guy, she was already looking at me. And even after she was with that guy, she was still trying to follow me around. So I could have had it, but I didn't understand what twin flames was at the time. Now I'm an expert in it, but back then I didn't even know what it was really. And I still really didn't want it because I wanted to do ministry. I had things I wanted to prove. See, when an earth angel comes here, the devil tries his best to stop this person. The family's going to hate him just like they did Joseph. Society's going to hate him. They kept throwing Joseph in jail. Wherever this kid goes, he's hated. He could be standing in line just trying to order food. He could be diabetic. He's hungry. He's trying to just order food, and the manager will just start fucking with him, talking disrespectful, following him to the dining room, cussing like that. Not cussing him out, but you're still cursing me out by talking crazy. That to me, that's cursing me out because I'm a customer just like everybody else, but you're treating me like shit, and I haven't said anything to you or done anything. And if I say or do anything, I'm gonna get arrested, and maybe my fucking head's gonna get blown off. And I didn't even do shit. So we have to know these things. And you have to learn, I don't have to shop, or I'm not going to go shop there. Or you have to just buy more food so you don't have to run out and have to go out. You have to do this shit because that's how fucking wicked this world is. And I don't mean to bust anybody's bubble, but then again, the whole point of this twin flame thing is to wake your ass up. There's more to life than just you. Where's my twin? Why isn't my twin with me? Oh, it's a whole freaking world. And I can promise you, the more you learn how to think more outside of yourself, the better your world will become. Because if you're having problems with your twin and you think like that, that's probably why. Because as long as you're selfish, your twin is going to be the exact mirror of you. So if you're selfish, they're going to be selfish. If you're mad and bitter, they're going to be mad and bitter. At least around you they are. If you're afraid, your twin is going to be afraid. It's only till you open up and trust the universe and learn things like love and things like that and karma and give and receive and things like that universal law, when you begin to learn stuff like that, you'll begin to see more signs that your twin is becoming more receptive to you. So I look at twin flame as basically God giving you a message. And you're not the only twin. He did it to Joseph and Esau and probably other twins. Here is the audio. I thank you all very much for listening. You have been listening to Get Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444, seen and heard on YouTube. And now what you're about to hear is me compare my chart to a person who I definitely have a connection with, but is definitely not a twin flame or twins or soulmate, any type of connection like that. God bless. All right. I want to put this on a real life and metaphysical channel. I would like to put it on my other channel. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I will put it on Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. This is Get, your host. Now, what you're looking at is actually my natal chart. And this is a woman who contacted me recently and told me to check her and me out because she thought there may be a connection. And I know her from like I guess it was 2015, I think. And it was coming off the heels of a horrible twin flame situation. So the last thing I wanted to do was to go through that hell again. So first I was going to put the charts up because I like to, check things out. I like to roll that dice. But then I said, nah, I ain't ready. But I've been doing so many, now I got people contacting me to say, hey, put 3 charts up there. Me and one of these people is my twin and one is a soulmate. Tell me which one. So I said, that's pretty interesting. So let me see what happens. Because I don't think this female is my twin. She may be like a soulmate, but you could have tons of soulmates, believe it or not. And that's no disrespect to nobody. I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever. So first you look at the chart and see if there's any, whatever. Now her chart is on the left. My chart is on the right. And so let's just do me again. True North Node, this is what you're supposed to be working on. In this life is Cancer, and then that's the True North, the present life, and then the South Node is right across Capricorn. So again, I would need to read Santos because it's making an implication. You see the moon is right there. And I've always said my moon sign is in Capricorn because that's what I'm told. Well, it pretty much is, but I still got that Sagittarius energy too because my best friend is a Sagittarius. And you got the good fortune. So we're doing my chart. I'm on the right hand side first. And so my first house is twin flame Gemini, and it's got that Aries energy. Second house is the nurturer of finances is Cancer. And that's my true node. So my true node would have something to do with in this life. But you notice you see it's at 20, so it's the solar ascension. And it's the Cancer, which again, don't forget the moon rules Cancer, and that's why then you see my moon sign is Capricorn. So they want me to have this Cancer Capricorn energy to a certain degree. And then my last job, a woman, I know she was my soulmate. That's before I knew. I didn't learn all of this till like mostly all the stuff I really learned really good. I was already terminated, but I had been at that job for almost 3 years. So now we're going into my third house, which is communication. But you see they have Leo there. So a lot of times, like Leo and Gemini, the third house and the fifth house are very, very unique. They're very good about, communication, travel. Third house is also about lower education, but it's, socializing with people. And if you notice, so I have Venus there, so I will be talking about love a lot. And that's also my sun sign, Leo, which is interesting. My sun sign is Leo in Gemini. So here you're going to have a bold lion, a romantic lion, a Leo, a fun, risk taker, whatever, in your third house of communication. So this guy, that mouth is going to be bodacious. And then they got Mercury there too, so you can tell I'm going to be a great communicator. Talking a lot about love. So that's the third house. Goes right into the fourth house of family, which is ruled by Cancer. My true north node, and they have Virgo there. So I would be kind of like a healer. Kind of independent.
But the fourth house is family, education, property, land, the heart. So you have Palace helping you there as well. And Pluto, once again, Pluto's making that an 8th house connection to the 4th house. So that can imply some of the people in your family are soulmates. But I could see like my family, because a lot of my people in family, they're named Anne. And Anne is like Anna is really a black goddess. Like if you looked her up, because of modern times, they changed the color. But if you was to go back to the beginning, like Anna would be like a black goddess. And then you have Pluto connecting you to the underworld, and it would be real deep. So I would be like a deep healer in matters of family and education, because I am kind of like a deep person. I've learned how to be less, I've learned how to be more understandable because I had to. And if you notice now, right in the fourth house and fifth house is Juno. So now, if I was saying what type of person I would end up in a relationship, maybe a Libra, according to Juno, maybe a Libra, maybe a Virgo, maybe a Cancer, because Cancer rules the house. Maybe I guess a Leo, 1, 2, 3, 4, or a Libra, and also because Scorpio is there. Evil Mars, it could be Aries. I know that's a lot, but you got to be aware of it. So I just want to write all those possibilities down if you don't mind. Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Libra, and Leo. And then you got the nurturing again in the fifth house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even though I'm a Leo, if you got Leo and you got Libra in the fifth house, you probably want a relationship. And that's why Juno's right there, because Juno wants to be loved. Juno wants to be loved. So if you see like a Leo, if you see Libra in the fifth house, that could be a person who really wants to be in a relationship. And Mars can mean two things, like really passionately, deeply wants to be in a relationship, or the dude could be a little bit of psycho, a little bipolar going on. I love you, that's why I hit you and hit you. I'm just joking, everybody calm down. Because I want to let the female that requested this a while ago, I'm going to let her hear it. She's going to be like, oh, hell no. You got to have some fun sometime. All right, let me get serious. This is supposed to be a serious analysis, but I can F around because it's mine. All right, you're about to hear that boom because this is about to be uploaded. Then I'm going to put this on hold, handle my business. I'll be back. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I think I was in my fifth house. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then when you go right into the sixth house, there's Lilith, but Lilith is retrograde, which means the feminine aspect doesn't feel cherished. Give me a second here. Just taking stuff off the screen. But now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sixth house is still Scorpio. Still dealing really with the eighth house, Scorpio. Vertex cross and Neptune mean things coming through your mind as well as dreaming. But Neptune also makes a person an idealist. Scorpio with Virgo is a transforming healer. Someone an idealist. But somebody already also real in the question, because Scorpio makes you like a doubter. Scorpio makes you want to investigate, like dig deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's why even in the house, the fourth house is family, but it can also be education. It got Pluto, because it's gonna make you want to dig deep. So that's a 7. So in the 7th house of relationships, you got Sagittarius, which is the higher self, but is also the sociable healer. And then when you go into the 7th house, the moon is right there. Even though the moon is in the 8th house, it's so close to the 7th house. So there you go with that healing. And the 8th house has the good fortune. The 8th house is Capricorn with good fortune in the moon. And that's the soul connection. Like I said, at my other job, the female was Capricorn. That I mean, not the twin flame, but the soulmate was there too. But I never did nothing with either one of them. But at the end of the day, that's what they were. See, I've been doing this a long time. Y'all gotta understand. So that's why I didn't do nothing, because I was always sitting somewhere and somebody coming my way. I had all kind of crazy, be somewhere. If you wouldn't even believe it, but really, you be way out of town and still see the same person, like just crazy shit. That's why I understood. I understood this whole stuff just a little bit better. Like you have light energy, you have dark energy. But if dark energy can get you to do something that can pull you out of the light, it's gonna do it. So me personally, I know to be real careful with stuff. So then that's the ninth. Now that was the 8th house. Now here's the 9th house of your higher self with Saturn at 20, which is interesting. And you got the medium Coeli there in the 9th house, what can you mean feminine, as far as like the mother, like a female 9th house to your higher self, Aquarius and Saturn. So the Saturn is that the first retrograde on my chart? That is interesting. So the first retrograde on my chart is in 9th house with Aquarius. Aquarius can mean surrender, the two twins surrendering, or it can also be teaching a community. And higher knowledge, or can be travel. So it might just mean I would share knowledge, because Saturn means discipline, or Saturn retrograde can mean like no discipline, like. And I'm kind of like that. I just believe in sharing knowledge. I don't believe in like keeping knowledge or hidden knowledge. I don't believe in that. And even with 33 would be 33 would be hidden knowledge, and 34, I don't know. Let me look at my numerology, because that's the vibe I'm getting off of that, is that I wouldn't want to hide knowledge from people, but it could be something else. Hurry up. Give me a second. Soul growth. For some reason, that number 34 means soul growth or power, which that could be true because you got Aquarius there.
And the higher you get to your higher self is feminine. Yeah, it's starting to come out. It's been a long day. That makes a lot of sense. Once they said soul growth power, it made sense. So the higher, and notice, yeah. So that's getting to your higher self, but I still wouldn't know why Saturn would be retrograde. That's just some type of lesson or some type of karma. I just wouldn't know from where or what. But I understand the 20 is solar ascension, which when you ascend, you go back to source. Source will be feminine. And then 34 is that's what it says, power or soul power or something like that. All right, I'm gonna put this on pause real quick. All right. So then the 10th house is spiritual. So I've always been spiritual, and then it got Chiron again, which would indicate past life healing. But it's ironic, see. But you know what I'm trying to tell y'all is like that Saturn sometimes can be Satan. And it's funny how Satan shows up right as those two. Like Aquarius is the teacher who teaches the community. With enlightenment, they help the community. And then a spiritual person, like your career would be some type of spiritual person. And then you see those are the only two retrogrades I got. So let me see what the number 27 mean and the number 24. Unification and duality. So yeah, going back to your higher self, it's in a perfect spot. Unification of higher self, and that's only after 24 is harmony after struggle. So really, if you listen to what I'm saying, at my job, I'm at the Capricorn, and and to some degree, my higher, because I'm at the female, which is really the who I think is the twin at the job, and the medial quality is right there, so it's like unification after struggle. And what was 27? Surrender, death, submitting to the universe. Unification and duality. Surrender, death, surrender, unification and duality. So surrender. So to me, that's what I kind of just been through, to be honest with y'all. And Saturn represents that, it rules over Capricorn. So Saturn can represent your employer as well. And even that aura can mean past life. Because that's what I kind of get. Because it's ironic to me that there's no other retrogrades except in those areas where I'm being spiritual or teaching other people, which is what I'm even doing now. You're enlightening a community with this truth about twin flames. So that's how I get out of that one. I'm going to put this on pause for a moment. I'll be back. Alright, so let us continue. So it would be, and even in your 10th spot, which is I saw my twin at my job, and that's why I met her again or whatever. And then notice how Chiron is past life. So it may have been some kind of karmic debt. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Because those are the only two retrogrades. And so you had to pay that debt or something like that. 11th house is Aries, but aggression. But that line, if you see that line, it connects you right to where Scorpio is. Because I keep telling you, Mars used to rule Scorpio, but rules Aries. So it was dealing with a whole. Because she was the one with the Aries energy, though. Wasn't necessarily me. I mean, if I had an Aries energy, it was just like trying to do my job and not there to play around or nothing. So who knows? But anyway, it was money coming from and Aquarius is a submission, and then 19. I think 19 is a marriage. So that's what's this. Excuse me, y'all. Give me one. All right. So let me look up the number 19. Yep, 19 is in marriage too. So you got Jupiter with the marriage, because 19 is a sun marrying the moon, but only at the repeated sorrows. And it's the same thing as Jupiter. So you do see some type of marriage taking place. And then we did 24, I think, over there. Let me do the 24. 24 is harmony of the twins after struggle. And that's why that's in Aquarius, because they both had to submit. I just don't know why Aries is there. But like I said, just common sense. All this went down on my job. This is all around the job sector. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, you just got to use common sense, even though you don't understand it or see it. And even number 3 with the Chiron is the woman, higher self. And then look at number 14, see what number 14 is. Oneness after the struggle, basically, I think. Let me see. Or the struggle is 14. Let me see. Individuals during the struggle is 14. So it's all this struggle, and then Aries ends up. That's crazy. But that to me, that's exactly what it looks like, though. As crazy as it sounds. And then the house of dysfunction, ruled by Pisces, you have Taurus there, which can mean stubbornness, but it can also mean strength against the dysfunctions. It can actually even mean loyalty. It's just not enough information to really say. And you see the East Point at 42. "42 is the struggle of the twins to become one." Interesting. Because that's why I never like my chart. And my chart is funny because to me it's not fully me, though. Because if somebody told me to read this chart, I'd say, well, this dude's not going to see a lot of love in his life. And I have, like, not necessarily maybe commitment. I mean, I have one real long-term relationship. But I don't really know if I really want to, like, long-terms like that anyway. And I guess the next question would be, well, is that by choice or not? And I'd be like, I don't know. It just looks like it's in the chart. It's interesting. But I would tell you all this. I definitely see a twin flame struggle. And if you said, well, where do you think it would be? I would say it looks like it's going to be in his career sector, because Saturn rules Capricorn. That's the career sector. And I'm going by the numerology. See, some natal charts state the numerology explains more. But it does seem he's going to have to duke it out. And then at some point, it would come. And if you were to say, well, who's starting the trouble? In this part, I would have right too. I would say, well, it looks like somebody, possibly Scorpio. Anything with Scorpio energy. And even if I said maybe even a Capricorn, because the other one was a Capricorn, because it was 2 of them. But the Capricorn never really gave me no trouble towards the end. She started changing on me. So I would still be kind of right. But like I said, I don't know. But I would say this dude's deep. I would say that it seemed like his strong point seems more like he's more deep.
It just seemed like he's more interested in being more deep than really passionate. And even though he's connected to Scorpio, he wouldn't be a typical like Scorpio dude. He's more like a deep, like Pluto Scorpio dude. And if I said Scorpio in my that's Virgo. Because I was looking at Aries and I looked and I said Scorpio, but that's not Scorpio, that's Virgo. So that's all I get out of that one. Now this one, the idea was to put these together to see if they were twins. So that's what we're gonna do. Because I already read her chart one time. I did it. And she doesn't really have a lot of retrogrades either. But she does have Lilith. I think my Lilith was retrograde. Yeah, my Lilith was retrograde, so was hers. Alright, so you're going pretty quick because you don't really see no real activity coming up for her. First house, second house. Ow. First house, second house, third house, really not a whole lot. Then when you get to the fourth house, you see Juno. So she would be in a relationship with a possibly a Libra. 1, 2, 3, 4. Serious relationship. 1, 2, 3, 4. Possibly a Libra or a Cancer. 1, 2. And my Cancer is that's my true north node is my Cancer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good fortune. Vesta. So her Vesta is Libra, my Vesta is Libra. Then we go into Scorpio with Pluto. And mine is a Virgo with Pluto. Scorpio, Virgo. And then got Saturn with the vertex cross. Going up to Sagittarius, got Uranus. Going up to Capricorn, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune. Still no correlation. Going on the Aquarius with the Sun. Then going up, you got Pisces with Mars, Venus, and Pallas. And then Aries at the medium Coeli. Lilith retrograde. Is that a 10th house? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then she goes to 11th house with Taurus, the moon, Curious, true north node, Taurus. So my true north node would be Cancer, but it's still in the second house, which is ruled by Taurus. Then she got Chiron retrograde in her 12th house, which is Gemini. Is that my 12th house? But that don't make sense to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Her 12th house is Gemini and Pisces. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1. Okay, so that's my first house. My first house is Gemini and Aries. So it ain't really no it's like no whatever whatsoever. Because what I'm trying to tell people, everybody can be a soul, and a lot of people will be flipping out. But anybody could be like a soul, and you're part of a soul group, because we all come from the same source. Everything comes from source. So you may have somebody where you have a that type of connection to. But if y'all saw the natal charts I did today,
the 3, both of them, you could see how close some people were connected. Almost to the point you couldn't tell the difference. You couldn't even tell which one was the twin. It took a long time to really figure that out. So this one, like I said, I'm even looking real quick to see if any of the numerology looks similar. But she got that 444 for Pluto. That's a real high number. And she's got that 8-2 or 2 or that 228 Neptune. That's significant. But look where she has it at. I keep telling you, my moon. See, remember the moon deals with the soul. That's why they call moon sin, because moon is responsible for soul reincarnation. They call it sin. They call Jesus the Savior. He saves you from sin because he saves you from lunar reincarnation, moon reincarnation, and he gives you solar ascension. So where her Neptune is where Capricorn is. And I already told you that my moon sign is Capricorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's the house of relationships. So that's some weird soul connection we got. But that way, but that's like a soul group. I wouldn't even call that a soul mate to be real. That's like a soul group. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why I tell people you gotta be real careful because it's just a lot of stuff that goes on, and you have to understand how the universe works. But just like you got positive energy, you got negative energy, and you got to remember that Saturn rules Capricorn, right? And this is a Capricorn super. This is what we have together. We have a Capricorn situation, and but you got to remember, like Saturn is another name for Satan. You got to remember that. Every now and then you hear RFG Chosen One try to tell you that. Sometimes Satan can be wicked. Sometimes Satan can teach you a lesson. Saturn can teach you a lesson. But you got to be careful because, again, Neptune is what? The dreams. Neptune influences the dreams. And that's what she said. She was having dreams, or she thought I was sending her dreams. So all of it makes sense, but you just got to be careful. That's why I said don't waste your time. Y'all got to listen. I'm saying this to everybody. If you're a female, because y'all work on your feelings, but don't waste your time on somebody or something that's not really what it is. Don't go into fantasy land. That's Neptune, because you start fantasizing and seeing things, or you start dreaming things. But if that shit's not real, be careful. And that's why I said a lot of things flipped out. When I see my twin, that's what she wanted to do. And we did have some telepathic dreams and shit, but I didn't know what a twin flame was. I just knew I didn't want no relationship. So that was one of the reasons why she turned as evil as she did. But I really didn't want one. And then when I found out what a twin flame was, and I was just trying to talk to her, she was just flipping everything. But that wasn't going to come out good anyway. I knew that as soon as I seen it. I done seen that so many times, it ain't funny. And I ain't the same dude I used to be, and I'm glad I'm not. I'm not third dimensional no more. This is like animalistic, just meeting people, having sex with them, all dropping kids all over the place. Ain't nobody loyal to nobody, and sleeping with this person, sleeping with that person. That shit, that's just like the animal kingdom and shit, nigga. For real, like, that's 100. Like, I value myself a little bit higher than that, bro. I'm sorry. I can't do that third dimensional shit no more. I'm a teacher for anybody want to listen. Anybody don't want to listen, I'm good. I'm eating, dog. So that's what's up. So yeah. So that's how I see it. If I had to call it, I think I was very honest when I called my natal chart. And I just was it was more like that type of connection. But I think it was being manipulated by evil, playing games. And the same evil tried to manipulate me, thinking I'm gonna dive into some relationship that wouldn't have went nowhere. Because at the end of the day, my so-called twin wasn't about shit. She already was talking to another dude for the most part, getting pregnant and stuff like that. And she just was too selfish, and I just ain't on that level no more. She's like an indigo or a crystal child, and I didn't even know what that was. And I did try to work it out once I knew, but it was too late. She was all mad and shit. But I really wasn't. I've been carrying luggage my whole life. I was trying to do me. I don't mind teaching and stuff, but I'm not gonna carry everybody's luggage. I don't mind helping, but people got to stand up and do. You want to be an adult. Like, if you really want somebody to respect you, you got to be an adult. I had a situation with somebody today, but the reason why the situation got the way it did, because all this person wanted to do was lay on their back and don't worry about nothing. And then when they found out they was getting played out, then they want to investigate, but then they want to just give information that's not accurate. And then when I tell them it ain't accurate, instead of them getting accurate information, They thought I'm gonna get it, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna get the information. You get it. It's your situation. It's your order. You get the accurate information. And then instead of them getting it like an adult, they're gonna try to tap out like a baby and jump. So it is what it is. But that's how I call it. We put the charts up. I told you I like to roll them dice. But like I said, it's no disrespect to nobody, but it's good to get to the truth. But you want to make sure you just don't follow stuff based on instinct and feeling. That's why I like it out here, because you get to see the charts, and the charts help people make better decisions if they want to make mature decisions. Otherwise, you can just go with intuition and go with feelings and stuff like that. But when you start getting hurt and all that other stuff, you'll see why. Now, if this chart is right, somehow this Aries is going to try to submit at some point. Like, I have no idea when. But it's almost like we went around that clock. Like, when I first walked into that job, it was April 1st. And if you look right there on Good Fortune, it's 14 or 4-1 backwards. And it was April 1st, 2014. So that's even 14. And then we took each other through hell, which to me is what that Saturn retrograde means. And it was a ninth house. And Aquarius is really supposed to mean submission, but it really wasn't no submission. But if you notice, the reason why it wasn't no submission really was because of that Aries energy. So it's kind of reversed. And then it was that job. But I did become more spiritual in the sense that I understand twin flames and stuff more. Plus, I was still teaching people like I'm doing now. So you see the Pisces and you see the Aquarius. And that's also the 11th house as well. But I think that 11th house, that Aries represents her. It represents my twin. That somehow, even when I did the numerology, that would be funny if that happened. I can't see that happening. But when you take that Aries and go straight down, it takes you right to Virgo. And it takes you to Scorpio. And you see the Virgo is the healing. And your twin flame can end up in your 4th house because that is your family. So, who knows? It'd be funny if it did. I just can't see it happening. But I can admit that all that other stuff I just said did happen. And just the way you see it on that chart. And when you get your chart, it really is like when you get it, it's that you get it when you're supposed to. Because people say, what about the past? What about all that? All that, the past and everything don't matter. The past is done with. So when you got your chart now, you got it now because they're dealing with the present. Right here, right now, to move forward with it. So I hope this made sense. And again, I don't know where this chart will end up. I may put it on my channel. I may not. I really don't know yet. But either way, this is Gad. I had a ball. God bless.